Hi to everyone. Thank you for attending to today's webinar. Let me introduce myself. My name is Álvaro Mocholi. I'm responsible for international sales and also the general manager of Grecom Technologies. Just to let you know that today we're going to be recording today's webinar. So on the upcoming days, we will be able to share with all of you a link of the video and also a copy of the presentation. Okay, so as we said, today we're going to be talking about all the different solutions that we can offer for the airport industry. And then first of all, what I would like to do is I would like to do a very brief introduction of our company. Okay, Grecom Technologies was founded in 2005. We are a company that is specialized in developing real-time analytics. And we are very specialized on thermal imaging, although we also have solutions for day and night cameras. But our biggest area of expertise is going to be thermal imaging or radiometric or temperature monitoring solutions. We have in our portfolio over 30 different solutions that we offer. Later on, what I will do is I will explain you a little bit all the areas that we can cover. We export to 64 countries. Our biggest area or the most consolidated markets that we have right now are Middle East. Also North America and South America will be the second and the third markets for us. And then also South Europe and Asia Pacific will be the other markets. One of the key advantages is that I think what it makes us very different is that we can cover the full chain of value of the company, of the industry, let's call it. So we have our own R&D department, which is responsible for not just developing our own solutions, but also for customizing or adapting our solutions according to the project requirements. So that flexibility gives us a big advantage versus some other players on the market, which are a little bit more inflexible or are a little bit more inflexible. Also, we have an integration department, which is responsible for integrating all our solutions with the existing security platforms, so like DMSs, new cameras coming up, access control platforms, alarm monitoring centers, digital input and output models, and so on. Also, it's very important to let you know that the price of our license always includes the setup, remote setup. So what we do is remotely we connect with the facilities, and then we do the configuration, fine-tuning for the system integrator and for the end user. Okay, we always work with the system integrator. We never go to the end user. And then also we have the pre-sales service. So what we're doing is we guarantee that the cameras are correctly deployed, they are correctly orientated, so we can guarantee that these solutions are working as the customer is expected. And then we have the after-sales service or the project maintenance, which is responsible for attending any potential problems that might show up with the analytics or with the communication with third-party devices such as cameras, VMSs, recorders, and so on. Okay, we're gonna move now. This is what we can cover. So we have solutions for perimeter surveillance. We can have solutions for thermal imaging cameras, for a fixed or PTC, and we have also solutions for day and night cameras. Then we have marine surveillance. So we have also the solution for fixed or PTC cameras. We have our own VMS. We have one VMS with artificial intelligence, which I will introduce you later on. And then also we have a traditional VMS. We have the cybersecurity area. This is more oriented into data loss prevention. And then we have on the facial recognition, we have access control, passport control, scan. This is for the access. And then we have we can do demographic analysis, PAP recognition, and so on. On the automation and safety, this is the area where We have developed more solutions, but for example, we have the personal protective equipment monitor, the cell, this is for the renewable solar plant, cell monitor, flame monitoring is for the oil and gas, tank is also for the oil and gas, transformer or substation monitoring, this is for the power supply companies or the energy sector. Engine, this is a solution that we usually use for any kind of industry or manufacturing process. Leak monitor, this is a solution that we use for the oil and gas. Then we have the catenary or e-charger, which is a solution just to monitor the electric vehicle charging points. So we can monitor that the vehicle does not catch on fire or the batteries that don't catch on fire. And we have fire prevention and detection. We have a solution for industrial scenarios, which is the 10 threshold. And then we have the Watchman, which is a solution for the wild forest. And finally, we have a retail analytics, which is called OnTrace, which later on I will also explain you. Okay, so let's start with today's webinar. We're going to divide the webinar in two sections. One, we're going to have the security solutions, and then we're going to have what we call it the safety solutions. Okay. So the first solution that we like to do on the security area will be the face recognition. This is a solution that we can guarantee 99.97% of accuracy without face mask and 98.6% of accuracy with face mask. Sorry. We have our own API, an SDK, so in case that we need to integrate it with an existing security platform on an existing VMS. This is a solution that is compatible with all the operating systems on the market, so we can work with Windows, Mac, Linux, Android, and iOS. And then follows all the privacy policies or requirements. So this is AS256 in range, HTTPS for sharing, and then all the information is encrypted end to end. It is a flexible solution, can work on premise, cloud, or we can do it a hybrid. And then it has been certified by the NIST. Okay, so here there is a chart where what we can do is here it is as you can see here, for example, we are the solution with less computing requirements that we need. And then also what we do is here is one of the fastest solutions in the market. Okay, so here what you can see is that we are among the fastest solutions. Okay, so one of the devices that we wanted to talk to you is about a scan. This is a biometric access control device. This is quite small. I mean, it's just about 10 centimeters by 10 centimeters. Incorporates a 3D camera, an infrared lighting, and then also has a microphone and a speaker. This device can support a database up to 20,000 people. It's very fast access control, so we can grant access around 30 to 35 people per minute. It is compatible with all the main access control platforms, OSDP and WIGAN. Also can detect tailgating and also can detect anti-spoofing. Okay, so anti-spoofing in case that someone is trying to supplant the identity of a person with a picture, with a video, or with an image. The system, the 3D camera, is capable of distinguishing between a real face and a non-real face. Okay, and then also has the infrared lighting, so it can work either indoor or outdoors. Okay, also has audio, as we say before, so you can talk to the person, or you can talk to, I mean, you can talk through the device. Okay, and then this device also includes its own API. So what you can do is you can register and manage the access of all the people that is on the database. What can we do with these solutions? Also, where we can, with this solution, we can do passport control. From the monitoring point of view, we can do mass detection, social distancing, audience management, congestion prediction, suspect detection, counting people, activity monitoring, direction analysis, and this is contactless. And then also you can have a multi-factor authentication. So imagine that you don't want to use the face, but you want to use a QR code or a barcode. You can also use this solution with QR codes. From the facial recognition, we can do passport control, access control, VIP recognition, recognition of suspects, and then liveness and anti-spoofing. As we say before, anti-spoofing is to distinguish between a real and an unreal face. So when someone is trying to supplant identity with an image. And then from the analytics, we can do demographic analysis, so we can classify by gender, by age, by facial expression, heat maps, queuing time, dwell time, which is the average time that each one of the persons spends inside the facilities, occupation panel in case that, for example, you are in a VIP lounge and the maximum occupancy is, let's say, 100 people. So what you can do is you can count people, and then you can also manage how many people can come in and out. Okay. So here, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna show you a video how the scan device works. Okay, I'm gonna explain to you. So here, as you can see, this is the 3D camera. And here you have the infrared lighting, and then right here you have the microphone and the speaker.
Introducing SaferScan.
Okay, it's very fast. As you can see, you don't even need to stop in front. I mean, you just by walking by, the system is going to be able to detect you. The distance is about one meter to 2 meters maximum will be the suggested distance to be able to be identified. Also can work indoors and outdoors. Okay, so whenever you have the infrared lighting, so you can identify. And also when the person is not authorized, you see here that there is the red box. So meaning that that person is not authorized, and automatically an alert will jump into the API, into the interface. It's very friendly to install.
High performance biometric access control made affordable. Only with SaferScan.
Okay. Now we're gonna move to the next solution, which is the VMS with artificial intelligence aware. Was certified by was the Red Dot winner in 2021, and then also it was certified by the ISO 27001. Okay, so here what I would like to do is I would like to explain you what is the difference between a VMS with artificial intelligence and a traditional VMS. Okay, a traditional VMS, basically what it does, it records 24 hours, 7 days a week, all the video streams connected to the VMS. And also what it does is manage all the events or all the alarms that the analytics that are connected to that VMS are generating. Okay, so you can manage all the events and so on. An artificial intelligence VMS, it does exactly the same, but it has an added value. And that is that meanwhile you are recording, the system, what it's doing is auto-classifying the objects. So for example, whenever it sees a vehicle, will classify it as a vehicle. Whenever it sees a human, will classify it as a human. But on top of that, I mean, on the vehicle, it will also record the license plate number, the color of the car, the type of car, and also the model of the car. So, and in humans, what it's going to record is going to record the face, it's going to record the gender, it's going to classify the color of the clothing and the type of the clothing. So all this is being done automatically. So it's kind of like putting tags into each one of the objects that the system is detecting. And what is the key advantage of this? So whenever you want to do a forensic search, instead of going through hours and hours of recording in order to access or to view exactly what you were looking for, here you have kind of like a search tool, and then you just have to enter exactly what you're looking. For example, in case of a vehicle, I say, okay, I'm looking for a vehicle model, whatever brand and model. I'm looking for a color of the vehicle, a license plate number, and a type of vehicle. And then automatically the VMS is going to give you, or is going to download all the images that correspond with your search criteria. And the same is going to be with a human. You can upload an image of a person, and the system is going to download all the images that are similar to what you're looking for. And when I say similar, it is because not always the cameras are deployed correctly in a way that we can do the correct face recognition. So usually what we do is we download all the faces that are very similar to whatever you're looking for. And also you can search by color of the clothing, you can search by type of clothing, and so on. Okay. Also, this system, what it can do is you can do people counting, you have access control integration with all the main platforms. And then also what you can do is you can do people tracking. So always, as long as the people that the person that you're tracking or the vehicle that you're tracking is within the field of view of the cameras, what you can do is you can visualize, or you can see how that person move within the facility that you are monitoring. Okay. And then also you can do asset management. So if the analytics detects that there is no movement, there is no activity on a specific area, it can shut down the lights, can shut down the air conditioning or the heating, or can activate, send the cleaning crews and so on. Okay. Also, one of the key advantages that this solution is that this is not just recording. The price of the license also includes the perimeter surveillance, face recognition, license plate recognition, and then also sound monitoring. Okay, and then also behavior analytics. Okay, so what you can do is all these analytics are included on the price of the license. So you have the VMS and the analytics all included. It's kind of like a bundle package, so you can benefit out of it. How does the architecture works? You can work either way. We have our own cameras. The key advantage of our own cameras is that include the analytics can run embedded into the cameras, and also the recording can run embedded into the camera. Okay, so as for the recording, we can have 30, 60, 90, 120 days retention. Okay, and then in case that we're using our own cameras, we can have the cameras directly connected through the cloud, so we will not need to use any server. Although in case that is a critical infrastructure and the cloud connection is not available or is not an option, we can also connect the cameras to the server. Okay, in case that you want to deploy this system on a facility where you already have existing cameras, we can integrate it with them. And then the only thing you will need is what we call the cloud connector. And this is a server where you will have your own analytics and recording. Okay, we have our own API that you can access through the cloud, or you can access through the web. Okay, so it's kind of like a web API. So this solution can be a standalone, or also can be integrated with the existing security platforms. Now here I'm going to show you
Welcome to
how the
EvoWare.
search
Today we're
tool
going to cover
solution
search.
works. Okay.
Search is a tool that allows us to search for specific events that may have occurred across one or multiple cameras. This allows us to search for things like the appearance of a person or a vehicle, a line cross event where a vehicle or person has crossed a specific virtual line that we've drawn, loitering events where a person or a vehicle may have been stationary for too long in one place, indicating something like an idling vehicle that may be outside of a loading dock or outside of an airport, or a person that may just be acting suspiciously in an area that they should not be. We can also alert on sound detection, and this leverages the onboard sound detection in our EvoWare cameras that can detect things like glass breaks, loud noises, smoke alarms, and many more audio models that are being added with each release. So for example, if we were to create a line cross search, what we can do is we can choose what kind of objects we want to search for. We can stick with any or go down to a specific person. This person can be specified based on gender or based on the attire that they're wearing in the top or the lower quadrant of their body, and you can combine both colors as well, looking for people in uniforms or based on a description that was given by a third party. We can also leverage an image. If someone has captured a cell phone image of this person or vehicle, we can upload that in order to do a search based on these detections. Then we can choose where we want to do this detection. So this detection can take place, for example, on a camera in a parking lot. It could also happen inside of a building. So if we were looking for people that may have been in front of a register, we can choose one or multiple cameras and then choose the line that we want these objects to be crossing in order to qualify for the detection. We can choose the direction of travel of this object. And in the case of something like a convenience store, if we're just looking for anyone that is walking out, as this person just did in this example, we can unclick the entering direction so that we're only looking for the direction of travel out the door. And then we can choose the time period that we're searching for. This can be anywhere from specific minutes down to a block of time that may be days or hours. And in our case, when we're just looking for the last 30 minutes worth of search, we're presented with all of the events that correspond to our search criteria. So in our case, we're looking for people that are exiting. And if I highlight over that video, we're going to see the people that are exiting. I can click into this video to see it in greater detail. This will allow me to see not only the event that occurred, but the object within our floor plan as that user exits this building. I can then click to act on that activity. But we can also see in our parking lot as a person was crossing that virtual line that we created. So this allows us to very quickly get to the events that matter to us and then act on them. These different video clips that we have captured here can then be exported. So we can take the relevant information by clicking the plus, and we can choose to share or save. So we can export this as an MP4. We can share this as a publicly accessible link. We can bookmark it so that these video clips do not get deleted by typical retention. And of course, we can also do similarity searches if we want to look for people that are similar to the objects that have been detected in these environments. Now, you're also presented with the ability to create a rule. We have a whole nother section dedicated to creating rules based off of searches as well as other parameters. I implore you to check that out.
Okay, we're gonna move to the next solution. We have for the perimeter surveillance, we have two solutions. We have the perimeter lookout with artificial intelligence, which can work with day and night cameras or thermal cameras. And then we have Sentinel, okay? So for example, we have done several airports projects. One of the most important ones is Madrid International Airport. And then depending on the area, for example, on the perimeter, which is about 65-kilometer perimeter, we're using the Sentinel, which is a very long-range detection with thermal imaging cameras. And then for the critical areas where we cannot have, or we cannot, we need to have a very high level of accuracy, then we use the perimeter lookout, okay, with artificial intelligence. I mean, the Sentinel, the key advantage is very long range, but for example, we can go with a 60-millimeter camera. We can detect like around 500 or 550 meters away. The problem is that the target size, for example, a human 500 meters away is very small size. And then with artificial intelligence, we are not able to classify the object. So the key advantage is the very long detection range. Let's call it the disadvantage is that is not so accurate, for example, compared to the perimeter lookout with artificial intelligence. And the perimeter lookout, the key advantage is that it's a very accurate solution. I mean, we can guarantee almost 99% of accuracy with no false alarms. But the disadvantage that we have is that in order to be able to classify the objects, we need to have a minimum target size, and that is going to limit the detection range. So, for example, with the Sentinel, we can reach 500, 550. With the same camera, with the perimeter lookout, we should be like around 180, 200 meters maximum. Okay, so with these solutions, we have multiple detection rules like intrusion, line crossing, prowling, crawling, or abandoned object. With the perimeter lookout, you can auto-classify persons and vehicles. Does not generate false alarms by animals, vegetation, light changes, shadows, raindrops, insects on the lens, and so on. It is integrated with all IP cameras and is integrated with all the main VMSs. I mean, we are integrated with Milestone, Genetec, Axis Camera Station, Pelco, Avigilon, Iris, Chameleon, Latitude, and then also Hitachi AVH and Digiport. Okay. Here, what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you, this is a video. For example, this is a project we have done. Okay, so you can see in the center of the image is very shaky and still it does not generate false alarms by the movement of the camera. And then also you can see that on the right and the upper left, there is very low contrast and still we can detect it. Okay. All right. Now we're gonna move to the next solution, which is the Coast Guard. This is the marine surveillance. So this is for the airports that are very close to the coastline. And basically with this solution is what we can do is we can detect those small boats or floating objects or people swimming that the radar is not able to detect. Okay, so it's has a very large detection range. I mean, always. Okay, thermal cameras are good. Okay, let me just open here the chat because Victor just wrote something. Okay, so with this solution, we just work with thermal imaging cameras, and simply because if you use day and night cameras on these scenarios, the wave movement reflections can generate a lot of false alarms. So that is the reason why we use thermal imaging cameras. First of all, to remove all those bad scenarios, or let's call it, to reduce the rate of false alarms and also to increase the detection range, especially at night or on bad weather conditions. Okay. This solution has also multiple detection rules, so you can have like a presence areas, line crossing, or you can have also the crawling or prowling when someone is trying to move around the area. Also, we can position the events with UTM or GPS coordinates. So what we do is whenever we configure the system, we know exactly what are the coordinates of that object that we're detecting. So what we can do is we can position those events into the map so the operator can know exactly where this alarm is happening. And then also we can use these UTM or GPS coordinates to aim a PTC camera for verification. So what we do is we take those coordinates, we send it to the PTC camera, and then automatically we point the PTC towards that target or towards that point. Okay, and the same as before, this solution is integrated with all the main VMSs on the market and can work with fixed or PTC cameras. Okay. Here I'm going to show you a video on how the auto tracking solution works. Let me just move a little bit forward in the video. So here, as you can see, there is 3 sailing boats, and on the bottom left is the PTC camera. So as you can see, we are figuring out the coordinates. We send it to the PTC. And since we have multiple targets, the PTC is going from one target to the other, so we can track it down all of them. And then also, as you can see, depending on how far the object is from the camera, we give more zoom or less zoom, but the object is always centered on the image, okay? And then also you can see that there is reflection, there is waves, and there is no false alarms. Okay, the next solution that we're gonna introduce you is the data loss prevention. This is a solution which is called Reveal. Okay, it was the US Cyber Command winner. Out of the 10 categories, we were winner of 7 of them, and we were considering the best overall performance. Okay, has been certified by the JITC, which is like kind of like a authority in the US. Okay, and also with the NITTF. Okay, so what does this Reveal do? Okay, here basically what we do is we are monitoring the activity of all the workstations on all these servers and computers that are connected to the network. Okay, and here what we're doing is we're monitoring that all the employees are following the IT policy of the company, and they don't jeopardize the data from the company. Okay, so besides monitoring, okay, what we're doing is we can monitor, for example, all the actions, the keyboard, in case that there is any alarms showing up. In case that you are accessing to any application you're not authorized to, you're accessing browsers that you're not authorized, you do any kind of connections, DNS lookups, file accesses, integrations, Wi-Fi, USB connections, sensors, process starts printing off specific files, logins, or locations. So what we can do, we can monitor all the activity, but besides detecting or monitoring all the activity, we can also interact with the workstation. So we can block the activity, we can isolate the computer, the workstation, we can reboot, display a message, do a kind of like take a screenshot so we can demonstrate to the employee that he's not following the IT policy. And also this solution, what it does, it has an interface. And then what you do is you can work on real time. So in real time, you can have a clear view of all the company, of all the workstations that are connected or that are being monitored. So you know in real time what is going on, okay? And basically what we do is you download a software, a monitoring software on each one of the workstations that you want to monitor. And that workstation will be reporting on real time to a central command or to an API where you can monitor all the workstations. Okay, now we're gonna move to the safety area. Okay, one of the solutions that right now is very demanding, which is the substation monitoring or transformer monitoring. Here, basically what we're doing is we are monitoring all the key components of all the critical hold on. Let's just sorry, let's see. Okay, so basically what we're doing is we are monitoring all the key components on the substation, and then whenever we are detecting that any of those key components is overheating versus similar components, then what we're doing is we are anticipating to a major failure or to a major problem. Okay, usually all the substations, the way they're being monitored is periodically what they do is they send the maintenance staff or crew just to take manual measurements, and then the problem that you have is that sometimes the failure or the problem shows up right after the visit. So here what we're doing is we're monitoring 24 hours, 7 days a week, okay? And then also what we're doing is we are comparing similar components under the same performance circumstances. So we can know exactly which one of the components is overheating versus the other ones, okay? So here what the key advantage is that we can anticipate to the problem, And this is very cost effective because you don't need to periodically be sending maintenance stuff. So you just send the stuff whenever it's required. Okay. Also, another one of the solutions that is demanding is the temp threshold. This is for the warehouses on the airport. So here what we can do is we can monitor all the objects on the warehouse. And whenever we see that any of the objects reaches a specific temperature threshold, what we do is we spot it. And then secondly, what we do is we analyze the behavior. So for instance, imagine that there is machinery moving around the warehouse. So we need to discriminate the machinery, although it's on the same temperature threshold that we have set up the analytics for. So why we analyze the behavior, for example, a forklift, it might be at the same temperature threshold as, for example, a fire alarm, but the behavior is totally different because the temperature of that engine or that exhausting tube, it will be consistent, and then it will not increase very rapidly, and then it's moving all around the field of view of the camera. Okay. Meanwhile, if we detect a fire, the fire stays steady on a specific point, increases the temperature very rapidly, and then also increases the size very rapidly, but it stays fixed on a specific point. So that is the reason why we do kind of like a double analysis. We analyze temperature, and then also what we do is we analyze the behavior just to guarantee a very high level of accuracy on the analytics. This solution can work with fixed or PTC cameras. It's integrated also with all the main VMSs on the market. And then also you can connect it with digital input and output models. So in case that you need to activate sprinklers, emergency or fire alarms, and so on, you can also do it. Another one of the solutions is the personal protective equipment monitor. This is a solution just to monitor that all the employees are wearing the right equipment before their access into the facilities. So here, basically what we do is we create models, or we scan whatever equipment it is mandatory to wear meanwhile you are on the work area. So for example, we can detect helmets, protective glasses, protective ear tampons, or reflecting vest, protective boots, gloves, and so on. So basically here what we do is we create a model, we scan the object that we pretend to detect, and this is kind of like an access control device. So whenever the person is entering into the facility, we are monitoring, or we are monitoring and guarantee that they are wearing all the right equipment. So for example, on helmets, glasses, and protected ears. So here, this is the percentage of accuracy that we can guarantee. Okay. Also, we have access control devices. So this is kind of like a standalone solution. So you don't need to integrate it with anything, just to guarantee that all the employees are wearing. And in case that you want to monitor the employees meanwhile are on the work area, you can also have these devices where we can monitor that all of them are wearing the right equipment. Okay, so you have for one camera, for 3 cameras, and then up to 30 cameras. And this can be, depending on the number of cameras, we can customize it. And then also what we can do is in case that you don't want to use cameras, we can also use with stickers. Okay, so using the portable devices and regular helmets and vests, okay, we can identify that all the employees are wearing the right equipment, and also we can do is we can track it down within the facilities. So in case that there is an accident, we can know exactly where each one of the employees are located. Okay. Also, we can do this with the asset tracking. So for example, on airports, there is a lot of equipment. So we can figure out exactly where each one of these trucks or equipment it is at all times. So we can track it down. And then also we can track down packages, or for example, for logistics or luggages and so on, we can also track down. Okay. And the last solution that we would like to do is to do people tracking and statistics. We use this a lot for, especially on the shopping area. So this is kind of like a retail analytics. So we can know, for example, the number of visits, how many of them were adults. We can do demographic analysis. Then we can have shopping units out of all the people that entered into the shop. How many of them, how many items were purchased? Okay, so what is the how many people bought? Okay, what is the average time that they spend inside the facility? How many tickets were created? Okay, what is the conversion rate between the people that enter into the shop versus the tickets? And then what is the conversion rate between the, for example, that the people that enter and the number of items that were purchased. Okay, so this is the visits statistics. Also, we can do queue management. So this is for the airport, is very important. Say, for example, on the security points, and then also on the ticketing areas. So what you can do is you can manage queues, and then you can open up new counters in a way that you can speed up or improve the customer experience. And then also you can do street. So for example, on the shopping areas, what we can do is we can count how many people pass by the shop, how many people enter into the shop. Okay, so we can know exactly, we can figure out the ratio of the people coming in. And then also in case, for example, at the airport there, we have multiple shops of the same brand. So we can figure out if one of these pedestrians entered to similar or to the similar brand shops in the same airport. And then also what you can do is you can do statistics, so you can compare one shop to the other from a specific date and so on. Okay. This will be all the different solutions that we can offer for the airport. Okay, so here I would like to share with you some success cases that we have in the past. On the defense and law enforcement, we have been working with the FBI, we have deployed the cybersecurity solution and also the VMS with artificial intelligence. On the NATO headquarters, we have the access control solution. For the Saudi Royal Air Force, we do the perimeter surveillance, for example, of the King Faisal Air Academy and King Faisal. Yes, I will share the presentation. Okay. And then also we are responsible for monitoring all the air bases from the Spanish Spanish Air Force, and also with the Spanish Navy. We also monitor the all the Navy bases. On the oil and gas, we have been certified by Saudi Aramco of our perimeter surveillance solution embedded into access cameras. For Cepsa, which is the largest oil company here in Spain, we do all the perimeter surveillance of all their facilities. With Basra Gas, which is in Iraq, also we do flame monitoring. Repsol, we also do we do like control process solutions. And then, for example, on airports, we have done Madrid International Airport, that we do the perimeter surveillance on critical infrastructures. Al Wahba Palace in Qatar, which is the palace of the Emir of Qatar. Trillo nuclear plant, we also do the perimeter surveillance. And then on telecommunications, we work with companies such as AT&T in the US, Etisalat on the Emirates, Telefonica in Spain and South America, Facebook, Hitachi Vantara. Then on the industry, companies such as Gestamp, which is the largest automobile components manufacturing, Volkswagen, Mercedes, Toyota, okay, ArcelorMittal. Okay, with bank Santander, which is the 5th largest bank in the world, CaixaBank. Okay, so this is some of the success cases. Okay, and then also I would like to share with you, in case that you guys are interested on I mean, one of the key advantages of Grecom is that we consolidate a very large number of analytics. Out of all the analytics that I introduced to you, I will say 80% or 85% of them have been developed by us. 15% are we resell the solutions for some other companies. Okay, but in case that you want to become a partner of us and then you would like to sell our solutions, you can access through our website, and then here you have you can become a partner of us. And then here, these are my contact details. In case that you want to get in touch with me, you have my mobile telephone number and my email address. In case that you want to request a demo, you can also access through the website and request a demo of any of the solutions that we talked today. Okay, this will be all the solutions. Right now is the question time. So in case that you guys have any questions or you would like to ask me anything, you can activate the microphone or you can do it through the chat, and I will be very happy to respond to as many questions as you guys have. And as I said, on the upcoming days, we'll be sharing the PowerPoint presentation, and also we will be sharing the link to the video of the webinar. And also, it's very important that the price of the licenses includes remote setup, configuration, and fine-tuning. So in case that you are a system integrator, we cannot do all the setup for you. The only thing that you have to guarantee is that all the cameras are connected and everything is correctly deployed. Okay, so Slava, we have a question. Please advise the cyber solution. Does it something that is based on pure software analysis, or is also involves some visual analytics related to detection of person behavior? Okay, the cybersecurity, this is a solution that what it does is monitors all the activity of all the workstations that are connected to the company network. So what we do is we develop together with the company an IT policy, and then what we do is we monitor all the activity of all the employees, and then whenever we detect any of the employees that is breaching that IT policy, what we do is we detect it and then we interact in a way that we block the activity, we isolate the computers so we don't put on jeopardy, we don't jeopardize all the data from the company. So it's more of a data loss prevention solution rather than antivirus or something like that. And then we can monitor the keyboard, we can monitor everything that is being done on the workstation. So it's just a matter of developing together with the company the IT policy. Anyone has more questions? Also, one thing that I forgot to mention, the licenses can be perpetual or can be subscription. So for example, in case that you are interested more on a subscription model, we can also configure that type of solution for you. On the diagram, you presented cloud. Okay. I mean, it can be you can work on cloud or you can work on premise. So it's up to, I mean, if it's a critical infrastructure, In most of the cases, cloud connections are not allowed, so we always have to go server-based or on-premise. So it depends on the project. We can either go cloud or we can go on-premise. Anyone has more questions? Okay, well, in case that there is no more questions, once again, I would like to thank you for attending to today's webinar. As you saw, there were a lot of solutions related to airports. And then, as I said before, here you have my contact details. So in case that you want to contact me or request a demo or go more in deep into one of our solutions, you can book a meeting with me through the website, or you can request a demo through the website, okay? Or you can write to me directly. So once again, thank you very much for attending, and I hope this was very interesting for all you guys. And looking forward to hearing from you in the near future. Okay. Thank you very much. Take care. Bye-bye.
Cheers, bye-bye.